Thank you. I got 7 o'clock. You ready? Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Ferrisburg City Council meeting for Monday, June 15th, 2026. Amber, could you call roll, please?
Councilman Sias.
Here.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Here.
Councilman Kate.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Here.
Councilmember Cook.
Here.
Mayor Carlson.
Here. Thank you so much. If we could all rise for the invocation by Councilmember Kate, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord God, we come before you with thanks for the blessings of the day now past, and we ask for your guidance and direction for the evening ahead, especially our meeting as we gather together as City Council. Pray for your wisdom and direction. We ask all this, as always, in your Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Now it's time for public comments. This time on the agenda is for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to the City Council. Time for public comments will be given when an agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please position yourself in the line near the wall where the podium is located to ensure visibility and to be recognized. And after being recognized by the mayor, please give your name and your address of residency for the record and proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We have a public comment this evening.
Regina Schoberg, 17542 Parkwood Drive. I'm the Vice Chair of the Planning Commission. I want to take a moment to speak to you about the introduction of the zoning ordinances tonight. Our chair, Gary Post, is out of state, so I'm going to have to speak tonight because I have another obligation as well. The PC has exercised due diligence in considering the issues council identified at the last May meeting. You've had time to ask our expert advisor, Mr. Jarosz, questions and heard the opinion of residents. I do want to take this opportunity to thank Dave Jarosz for his help with these important questions. He's an expert in his field, and his explanation of complicated zoning concepts was much appreciated. Thanks also to Craig Amber and the city staff for supporting the structure of the assignments. Finally, please know that almost every municipality in our area is reviewing zoning as applied to affordable housing efforts. Spring Lake Township, Norton Shores, Grand Haven Township, Muskegon, they're all currently involved in this process. Ferrisburg's median household income is between $70,000 and $75,000. The median sales price of a house here is about $365,000. An income of $75,000 generally affords a price between $225,000 and $300,000. Owning a home is the American dream. If you want Ferrisburg to thrive, you must look carefully at how we can legally support that dream. Thanks for your consideration, and let's get this show on the road.
Thank you. Evening, Tim.
Evening. Good evening, Tim O'Donnell, 540 Ferry Street. I noticed there's a couple of items on the agenda tonight that I'd like to just make a brief comment on. One is the approval of the budget, and I was looking at the water rates, which are very substantial increase. During my 8 years on city council, there was very minor increases every year. In fact, a couple of years there was even a decrease. If you combined all the years together, it would be about half of what you're asking for an increase tonight. And I'd like to see some more proof as to why that would be necessary instead of maintaining the low prices, which we should do for the city. The second thing is you're looking at a work session on discount for the senior citizens. Personally, I don't like to admit it, but I do fall into that category. But I think if we keep our water rates low, as they have been in the past, I've had no problems making the payments. And I don't think, as long as we can keep the status quo, it shouldn't make any major difference in the having to have discounts. That just makes it harder, puts a burden on the other people to have to make up the difference. And that is, that's all that I have to comment on. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Tim, that already was voted through. For Councilman Cook, that 10% water raise was voted through. I was the only no vote. And it's already been voted through.
Okay, I appreciate that, but perhaps for future reference, I'd like to try and keep it in the past, like we have in the past with low. We did some very creative financing that made it possible that way. Thank you.
Unfortunately, with the fund balance situation, sewer fund balance is in good, healthy situation. The water fund balance needed help, hence in the water increase.
Ann Smith, 17520 Williams Street. A couple items I just want to make a comment on. First being, I see that you have on the agenda an item for discussion of the city logo revision. Personally, given I know that you guys are planning on using the FIT program through MSU Extension, I think it is a bad time to go ahead and pursue doing a logo right now until you've seen the results of that study. And having worked with that group before and the studies and the kind of data you're going to get, I think you would be wise to wait until you see the results of the study before you move forward and spend money, especially with a tight budget. That's my first comment. My second comment has to do with the speeding on 168th Street. 3 times in the last 2 weeks, I came close to being hit while walking my dog and trying to cross the street because people coming off the bridge are accelerating as they come off of the bridge and go up 168th Street. I recently was going and visiting Parade of Homes, and I was out on Lakeshore Drive. And one of the things I noticed that they had, because I know it's come up before, there's not an adequate way to put a crosswalk in. Well, out on Lakeshore Drive, going south by the school out there, they actually have solar-operated signs that start lighting up when you're accelerating and you are exceeding the speed limit. I think the city would be wise to look into that. And to see if we can find something to help slow that traffic down as it's coming off that bridge. A lot of us walk, and we walk the bike path, and we walk down into Smith's Bayou, and we need to be able to cross the street, and you're taking your life in your hands trying to do that. Thank you.
Ann, where was that illuminated sign at?
There's a Now, I'm not familiar with the Grand Haven schools, but there's an elementary school that is out on Lakeshore Drive. I took Hayes and went south, and it's somewhere between Hayes and just past the elementary school that's out there. There's a couple different ones out there.
Your Honor.
Peach Plains.
Yeah, it's by Peach Plains.
By Peach Plains. Craig, you familiar with that crosswalk sign out by Peach Plains? That's on Comstock.
No, it's on Lakeshore.
Yeah, it was right near Rosie Mount.
Yeah.
Oh, off of Lakeshore.
That's all right.
On Lakeshore?
Yep.
Well, Craig, haven't we talked about having City Hall investigate an eliminated sign, speed sign for 168th Authority.
Yes, in your packet should be some information on the speed limit.
For tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate your comments, Ann, about the logo. It's actually website redesign, and that's great thoughts there. Yeah. Understood. Do we have any other public comment this evening before we move on? Seeing none, we'll move forward. Agenda item number 6, consideration for approval of the consent agenda. 6A, approve the June 1st, 2026 City Council meeting minutes as printed. 6B, approve the bills memo in the amount of $93,488.01. 6C, approve a real estate donation agreement between the Ferrisburg Artemis Holdings LLC and the City of Ferrisburg for a 1-acre parcel of land adjacent to City Hall property, and to approve the mayor and city clerk to sign all necessary documents. 6D, approve a utility line easement between Ferrisburg Artemis Holdings LLC and the City of Ferrisburg.
Move to
Entertain a
approve.
motion. You.
Support.
Motion and support. Any questions or comments?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to offer an amendment to that, please.
Okay.
Could we combine, the amendment would be to combine item 7G through 7Q, possibly with the exception of N and O, because there's nobody slotted against those two slots, but to move all the other appointments into one vote.
So 7D to
7G through
to 7M.
7Q, and then pull out N and O as another item because those two don't have anybody against them. So make it, instead of all those different votes, make it 2 or 3.
Mr. Parliamentarian?
So there are motions on the consent agenda to approve that. Councilmember Kate is offering a motion to combine certain items on the agenda into one motion. So we should vote on the consent agenda and then have an amendment to the
Okay.
agenda.
So you're proposing all the appointments, voting on them in one block?
Yes. But that needs to be a separate motion after this one's approved, that's fine.
Okay,
I get it.
all right. We'll do a separate motion on that then.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I have a question for Craig.
you bet.
Craig, with this approval for a real estate donation agreement between Ferrisburg Artemis Holdings and Ferrisburg, does that relieve our grant obligation?
That would satisfy our violation of the previous grant from 1972.
It would satisfy it, okay.
So we have tentative approval from the National Park Service. Once we send the paperwork in, they'll give us final approval.
Okay, thank you.
I have one more comment, Your Honor. So reading through agenda item 6C related to that conveyance of that parcel, I believe that includes a restriction in perpetuity to always keep that parcel apart. So I wonder if that garnered any discussion. One item that comes to mind is if the city doesn't always own this property, that restrictive covenant would make conveyance of this parcel to another party difficult.
Mhm. I believe City Council is aware of that, that's going to be a park
Mhm.
next door to City Hall in perpetuity. City Council is aware of that.
No further comment?
Any other questions about the real estate agreement or property donation? That's going to solve our 1972 year problem. That's a beautiful thing. Hearing no other comments, Amber, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Sias.
Yay.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
yes.
Councilmember Cook.
Yes.
And Mayor Carlson.
Yes,
Motion passed.
very good.
Now, may I offer
Please.
a motion? I would like to move to combine items 7G through 7M and 7P and 7Q into a single vote.
Support.
Is there any, point of order, if I may? Is there any reason why we're not doing 7F? You said 7G.
Let's amend that to 7F. I'm sorry, I thought it started with G.
Well, F is separate, or it need to be
Oh,
separate.
well, that's, no, that's a separate, that's appointing the ad hoc committee to do Craig's review. That's not an.
No,
appointment.
no, 7F is Jordan Weber to the planning.
Seven F through seven M.
No.
What's that?
Are we
If
looking-
it's doable?
It's right.
Well, I picked up on.
Oh, my
Jordan
agenda's, I have a different agenda.
So do I. Here you go, Bill.
No wonder we can't get anything.
Seven F through M.
No,
No.
G.
F here is for the mayor's ad hoc committee on the city manager's evaluation committee, same as here.
I got that as
Committee,
E.
the committee appointees start with item
Ours
G.
is wrong, yeah.
F. Change it? Oh. I don't know why I get this stuff in. Good Lord. Okay, so where we at?
So 7G through M and P and Q as one vote.
I will support that.
Yep. Support.
We have a discussion on the floor.
Yeah, I have a concern about some of the appointments, so I can't support this at this time.
And if I may make a comment, and that is by doing this, you're denying city council members the ability to vote no for something. I don't know if that's
Okay.
just my comment.
Okay, I'll withdraw my support.
Anyone else?
then.
We're in discussion. Anyone else have any concerns about doing that?
I have the same concerns as the mayor.
Just trying to save time.
I understand. I understand. We could do yay nays. How about if we do that?
Okay,
We'll do yay nays.
let's do that.
We'll go through. Okay, we've done this just to make sure that the city council members' votes are on the record.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay? We've had trouble in the past trying to reconstruct things in the past. That's why we do.
No
Let's just forget I
reconstruction.
said anything.
Very good. Okay.
Moving on.
Motion has been withdrawn. Okay. Amber, have you, we're done with consideration. And moving on to agenda item 7A, discussion to take action if appropriate to approve a proposed schedule of tasks for the city council to appoint a new city council member.
So in your packet is a proposed schedule to fill the vacancy left by the resignation of Councilmember Montgomery. We're proposing that we publish an ad in the Tribune on the 18th and 25th. Applications being due on July 9th at 10 a.m. And the city council could review the applicants at the first time at July 20th.
Okay.
We would advertise in the Tribune, put it on the city website and the city Facebook page.
Looks good.
Need a motion?
We do.
Motion to move forward with the proposed schedule of tasks for city council to appoint a new council member.
Support.
Any discussion on this before we vote? None?
One comment.
Yes.
I love question 8.
You bet.
What have you done for Ferrisburg during the last 4 years beyond paying taxes? I laughed when I read that. It's great.
Anything else? No? Amber, go ahead.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Cook.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
I apologize, Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7B, discussion and to take action if appropriate to remove from the table a proposal from STG for $6,500 to update the city's website. So entertain a motion. to
I make a
remove.
motion to remove from the table
Thank you.
the STG proposal for $6,500.
Support.
Okay. Staff, you want to share on this, please?
At the last, go ahead.
So at the last meeting, we had proposed and suggested that Shoemaker Technology Group would be the right move for us to renew our website. There was concern if the cost that had been proposed of $6,500 included enough web pages for design. I have since reached out to STG, and they confirmed when they had designed or developed our bid and proposal, they had counted 45 to 46 pages already, and that quote would cover about approximately 50 pages. They also then explained once a page is developed around the hourly rate of $80, they would imagine it would only take about 30 minutes to develop a continuous page if they needed to add any additional pages.
Okay. Questions or comments from council?
I believe there's somebody waiting to give a public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good deal. Come forward.
Thank you, Mayor Carlson. Nicole Larabelle, 16814 Virginia Avenue. During the discussion of the zoning changes, the city website was something that I looked at a lot. I think the biggest problem with the city website is the calendar of events. So you go to that calendar of events and you see a month that isn't labeled, so you can't tell which month it is. And then you just see circles around dates. And if you want to see what is on those dates, you need to click on every single circle and, you know, look for planning commission meetings, look for city council meetings. And then, you know, when you go to the city council page, it says no events, same with planning commission. So there's multiple pages where there could be more information on those pages. And then the bottom link on the planning commission page, that bottom link never works on a mobile phone. And when you look at it on a computer, you see half the text cut off, but you can click it on a computer. So one of the solutions that I came up with Amber was to add a fake link to that so that the bottom link wasn't really the bottom link anymore and you could click it. But these are all things that are, you know, I hope would be fixed with the new website. And then Spring Lake Township has a community engagement page. And on that page, you'll see documents for new parks, blueprints for new parks. You'll see subdivision plans, clearly labeled. There'll be like subsections for each topic. There'll be multiple documents for each topic, so there isn't just, you know, mislabeled documents that are hard to follow what they say and what they mean, or if the information on them is outdated. So I think the city website is a very positive direction at making it so that Ferrysburg residents can actually read the information that's being discussed, because I know a lot of people during the zoning process said, I can't find this information. Where is this information? And then they would be directed to a page, and then that page would be outdated by the next meeting and the link would still be there. So, you know, this is very, very good direction to help our city be more transparent and have more opportunities for the public to be able to follow along, because the public can be supportive of things if they know what's happening and, you know, are made part of the process and their voices, you know, listened to and respected. So thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Nicole, you said that Spring Lake Township,
Yes.
and that was
The community
community engagement?
engagement page. Yeah, it's that was one thing that was really positive about their website.
Okay,
I like the music.
I'll check that out.
That's
Thank
what
you.
we can get when we have them out here. There we go.
Actually, I think that was for Mr. O'Donnell coming up. Come on. That's your entrance music.
That's my,
Jim.
that's my new entry music, yes. On the website, I am curious, is this going to also involve working on the change on the logo?
There was no discussion of changing the logo while redeveloping the website. That could be something that could be plugged in later.
Okay. Just to, we do need some work on it, the website, but I'm wondering, was anybody, was this put out to the public so that about the change on the website, that somebody that likes to do websites would do it for non-gratis or a reduced amount of money. There's a lot of people out there that like to do this sort of stuff. My daughter loves to do stuff like this. I wouldn't push it for her. She wouldn't want to do this, but it's just people out there like to do this for as a hobby. So I was wondering if that was put out to the public notice.
Yes, it was, sir.
Okay. And just on the logo, the fire department, we redid our logo with without any professional, and if you've seen it, it is awesome. And also, that's also a good way to promote the city, because we have it on, you can put it on t-shirts, mugs, whatever, and that we need to do a little more promotion on the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more public comment regarding this agenda item? Seeing none. City Council, any more comments regarding the?
This is just to take it off the table.
This is just take it off the table. No.
Okay, Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Cook,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7D, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve the 2025,
Sir, 7Cs.
pardon me? 7C, I'm sorry. Discussion and take action if appropriate to approve a proposal from STG for $6,500 to redesign the city's website. Take a motion on this, please.
I make a motion to approve a proposal from STGC. I'm concerned, based on the explanation, that 6,500 might stop us from completing an upgrade. So I wonder if I can put in a not to exceed of $7,500 instead of $6,500, so the matter doesn't have to come back to council.
Looking for support on the motion.
I'll support it.
Okay. Motion and support on the floor. Any discussion regarding this? David, you want to elaborate? Or not?
The quote said it was for X number of pages. Amber did an analysis in the board packet. She went through with a consultant. I believe she made a comment tonight that if we exceed the number of pages, it's about a half an hour at $80 an hour to make additional pages. One thing that may not be apparent to other council members are the plans to incorporate the Kitchell Linguist Harder Dunes Preserve website into the ferrysburg.org domain. And so I am concerned that 6,500 may or may not cut it with that scope, as well as redoing the website to a level that meets or exceeds Spring Lake Township based on the comments made tonight.
Ryder?
Yes.
Why did Kitchell Dunes get folded into the city website?
So the Kitchell Linguist Dunes has had its own website, its own design, developer, and been handled primarily by the Dunes Board. It's caused some havoc trying to log into the site as the interns change over each year. So this will let us at the city staff level have a better grasp of getting to the website, setting up the intern so that they then have access to make the changes that they need to for that page. I'd also like to share at this time, I did go over the Kitchell Linguist Dune Preserve website with them, and the page count at 46 includes that as well already.
So, elaborate on that a minute now.
So with
Kitchell Linguist had their own website.
Correct. Kitchell Linguist had their own website, which then interns, we would provide them with the new password, login credentials. With all the second multi-factor authenticators and the different needs, they always had to tie it out to a phone number or someone else's email account. And with those changing throughout the office as well, we found the issue that it would land in an intern's inbox or on their cell phone and we had to struggle to be able to get back into our website.
So has the city run Kitchell Lindquist website in the past, or is this something we're taking on in addition to?
The intern has ran the site in the past and will continue to do so. We will just have access at the city level to get into said site for payment purposes, and if we needed to add something or redesign when there's not an intern available.
I think what Mr. DeWitt's getting at is the city has had the KLH website and the city website.
Correct.
Both, but they're hosted at two different spots.
Correct.
Well, the city has maintained it in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, all
As
right,
best as they
that's where I
can.
was confused.
Yeah, best we can. It's usually the intern that always has a hand in it, though. We've not had to actually physically go in and change anything in the Kitchell Lindquist website ourselves.
It'll bring it all under one umbrella.
Correct. One umbrella.
One control,
one-
City Hall control. And the page count from KLH is included in this.
That's included in the approximate 45 to 46 pages.
Speaking, if I may, for a moment, Ann Smith brought up about the FIT program, which, Craig, this month is when people are starting to come through, correct, for evaluations?
This summer, so it should
This
be-
summer.
Should be in process.
Is when we have the anonymous visitors come in for 2 or 3 days at a time to do their first visit, first impressions visit. So that's going to be leading up to some things. When's the kickoff on that? Community kickoff, remember?
Yeah, at the end of September, we'll get together and review the reports.
The city residents will be able to see that.
Yes, yep.
And I'm just questioning in terms of, like Ann was saying about the logo web redesign. Is this the time to do this now? Or does city council have to think about this?
Your Honor, I feel that we, according to Councilman Cook, we're in a distressed situation with our budget, and we're really having to watch what we spend, and we do have some things that we have to buy, like a new fire truck. And so I don't see any reason to spend money just to redesign a logo that I think looks perfectly fine.
It's not a logo, it's the website right now.
Oh,
is
the
what we're talking-
website,
the
I'm
website.
for, the logo, no.
Okay,
Your Honor?
yes.
To Ms. Murdoch's statement, there is nothing to do with redesigning the logo in this. And we are gonna wait until September when we get the report from the FIT or whatever it is, to address that issue, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns about city website redesign? Primarily for information sharing for the citizens. Amber, you call roll.
Your Honor, can I
Yes.
clarify something?
Of course.
Councilman Cook suggested raising it another 1,000. Is that what we're voting on?
That is correct. The motion was for 7,500.
Okay.
Are we sure that's adequate to cover the expenses?
At this time, they've quoted us up to 6,500, so I do believe it'll be adequate. Okay, Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Cook,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7C, discussion to take action if appropriate to approve the 2025-2026 city budget amendments. If we could take a motion for this.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Very good. Staff, you want to fill us in on this, please?
So this is the time of year that we typically bring budget amendments to city council for review. Our fiscal year ends on June 30th, so we want to get these budget amendments in before the end of the fiscal year. So we have two funds that we want to make adjustments to, and that's the general fund and the building department fund. And the general fund, we're not going to do anything with revenues. Moving down to expenditures, we want to increase the data processing by $17,500, as that was due to some cameras being purchased and miscellaneous supplies. Moving down the line items, contingencies, we budgeted $40,000. We're not gonna need that, so we're gonna zero that out. Police service contract, we want to reduce that budget by $27,500. We're anticipating making 2 extra payments to the police, the former Spring Lake Ferrisburg Police Department pension. We made 1 extra payment, as did the Village of Spring Lake. Moving down to leaves and compost, we need to increase that budget line item by $10,000. It took a little longer than expected to pick up the leaves last year with the late fall. Engineering fees for the drains, we did not do any work on drain work this year, so we want to reduce that by $10,000. Moving on to parks and maintenance, we want to increase that line item by $50,000. The crew spends some extra time in the parks. Lawn maintenance, fertilizer and everything increased over the last year, so we need to increase that. We're proposing to increase it by $50,000. With those budget amendments, there's really no change to the bottom line for expenditures. It's a zero change. Moving on to the building department, we've had some good permits increased because of the Stillwater development. The building permits, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permits all go along with new construction, increased more than we anticipated. The flip side of that, the salaries for the building inspector, the electrical and mechanical inspector increased due to more inspections. So for the revenue with the increase in permits, we want to increase amendment by $55,570. With the increase in salaries for inspectors, we want to increase that by $55,750.
Got it?
Yes.
The building department fund is funded by our fees, correct?
That's correct.
And we can't transfer that money to any other fund?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're not supposed to make any money on the building.
I have one other question. On the police service contract, last year we made 2 extra payments to the pension.
Yes, we did.
What is our percentage, where are we at on that pension fund?
We should be getting the actual report sometime this month, and we'll know a little bit more then. In the upcoming budget for 26-27, the Village of Spring Lake and Ferrisburg, we budgeted $75,000 each for extra payment on that pension as well.
That should put us in good stead as far as fund balance.
It should increase our funding ratio, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or concerns?
Yes, Your Honor. Craig, do I read this correctly? Bottom line, the very last line on the last page is in red, $262,559. Is that a deficit? Am I reading that correctly? On this 3-page thing you gave us?
Yeah, that's for all the funds. We'll make some adjustments in the other funds, the sewer and the water, the major street, local streets. Some of the transfers for some of that work that was done on those have not been taking place yet. So we anticipate that red line going to black.
So in our yearly budget, we're running 280,000 in the arrears.
On paper, but when we do all our year-end adjustments, we will not be in the red.
Sounds like an accountant.
No, we did.
But you did good.
Yeah. Like our 168th Avenue, that street was done. We haven't taken money out of the public improvement fund to pay for that yet, so that's why the major street is showing a little deficit.
Thank you.
And you have a whole series of items like that
That's correct.
that'll start nibbling away at that 280 grand.
That's correct.
Okay.
And more revenue coming in yet
And
too.
so you'll be in the black,
Yes, we anticipate being back.
year end when you close out the books.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns by anybody for this? Hearing none, Amber?
Councilmember Cook,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7E, introduction of ordinance number 244. And this is just an introduction, so there's no action. An ordinance to amend the city code by amending chapter 154 zoning to amend provisions related to residential land uses, review processes, and development requirements for residential land uses, as well as other stated manners, and to amend the official zoning map of the city of Ferrisburg. We do not need a motion to discuss this.
That's correct.
Staff, you want to fill us in on this?
Yes, back in April, City Council looked at these proposed amendments to the zoning ordinance, basically was related to housing. At that time, they had a number of questions and sent it back to the Planning Commission for review. At the June meeting, the Planning Commission held 4 public hearings on revisions based on the comments based from City Council. For instance, the revised packet that's in front of you tonight will show that reconstruction and restoration can be take place if the property is damaged more than 1/2 of the assessed value based on certain items. It has to still meet setback. No new structure should increase any nonconformity. So if it was nonconforming, the new structure can be rebuilt, but it can't increase the nonconformity. And it cannot go past the lot lines. All special land uses are going to be approved by a city council. Accessory dwelling units cannot be served as a short-term rental. They can be used for long-term rental, but nothing for short-term. The square footage for accessory dwelling unit will count for against lot coverage in the future. If a structure in the R4 zone district, which was formerly the inlay overlay district, is voluntarily demolished, and when they want to build new, it can be restructured on the original footprint with the same height, dimensions, and lot coverage, but it cannot extend beyond lot lines. Multiple unit apartment dwelling will no longer be proposed for the service district. And the service district was added to allow for existing single-family homes to be altered and expanded based on the R3 zone districts, which is currently the RG2 zone districts. Setbacks is reduced for lots that's in the R4 district. For lots that less than 7,500 square feet, the rear yard setback was reduced from 30 to 25 feet. In the R4 zone, which was formerly the inland overlay district, the lot coverage is currently 35% and will increase to 40%. And the waterfront lots along Cecilia Lane, the front yard setback will be reduced to 10 feet.
Okay. I had one question, and that was in here. I didn't see, City Council has talked a little bit about provisions for storage.
Oh, yes, that it was included in there.
Where is that?
That was.
The language says that a garage is required, but if you can't build a garage,
Where is that?
I think it's in section 7.
Section
No.
5.
So everything has to be recorded in the garage. If not a garage, it has to be a accessory building at least 100 square feet.
For storage, correct?
That's correct.
Right. Yeah, that is added in.
I think that was, all the changes that city council requested have been incorporated into this document.
Not quite.
Well, this will give us enough to chew on.
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Are we allowed to comment during an introduction?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
discussion.
So I read the updated document. I had been emailing Mr. Jarosik over the weekend and some of our citizens who had brought forth concerns. I'm just going to read what those were very briefly. So there's a provision in Article 5, Section 5.2 U4A. It's talking about accessory dwelling units, and it has a condition that in order to have an ADU and or rent it out, you have to be a year-round resident. I suggested that that definition be stricken because there are probably people with summer homes that might want an ADU but not live here in the winter. It would be difficult to distinguish a year-round versus summer resident. Article 10, Section 1080F1, the reconstruction provision, I strongly believe that we should amend it to also pertain to accessory structures. Property owners should be allowed to rebuild in the same footprint and the same lot coverage as their home, and accessory structures, i.e. garages, sheds, etc. If they're not making anything worse, i.e. the lot coverage, then what's the harm? The current provision only allows you to rebuild the dwelling, not a garage, not an accessory structure. Moving on, Article 10, Section 1080F1. The provision is that you must rebuild at the same height, but we've heard several comments, I believe, from Mrs. Larabelle about her two-story home that she would want to make one-story for accessibility issues. The current provisions locks her and anyone else into rebuilding at the same height, which may or may not be feasible. The other thing is there's several one-story cottages in the Inland Lake Overlay where I live. They are older and haven't been repaired, and the city has set a precedent of allowing homeowners to tear them down and build taller structures. I think that we should continue to allow that, and that should be allowed in our zoning ordinance. I think a lot of the city's revenue and a lot of the new building is going to continue to happen in the ILL R4 or whatever we're calling it. Lastly, Section 1080, this is Article 10, F2. There is a second introduction of the definition lot of record. The first definition, I think in Article 2, states lot of record is as of the date that we would choose to pass this zoning ordinance. The lot of record definition in this article states that a lot would have to exist when the old ordinance in 2009 was passed. So I believe that if you're going to make it cut and clear, remove the second definition of lot of record and just have it be with the parcels and the dwellings, etc., that exist when this board chooses to pass, because you're penalizing people that may have split their lots or done building in the past 17 years.
Your Honor?
Yes.
My turn?
You bet.
Okay, page 1. It's gonna take me a minute. Chapter 154 is hereby amended, blah, blah, blah. RD, low density dune, R1, R2, R3, there is no listing for R4. Why is that, Greg?
I don't have a good answer for you.
So we're changing inland overlay to R4, and you're not officially making it a zoning district, according to Section 3, Chapter 154. Am I wrong in that?
Yes, sir. We can correct that.
Okay. All right, moving on. Page 4. Okay, on apartment dwellings and it says that the planning commission can reduce the amount of parking required if the site is served Okay, if the development is within walking distance of the public, shared, or on-street parking. Well, we have no public parking, we have no on-street parking, so that should be stricken. That is required 2 parking spots per apartment, as the ordinance currently states. Am I correct in that, Craig? The only provision I'd put in there is if they have a deeded parking easement, like if you're doing a development next to Pine Street and you have a deeded easement for parking in Pine Street's parking lot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 4.2, what we got here?
Tell us what page you're on, Mike.
I'm looking.
Okay.
All right, page 4.2. What do I have here? Okay, so the planning commission shall review all details, blah, 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 as far as all applicable zoning requirements. Does that mean they can override the zoning ordinances?
No.
Okay. All right. 5.9. Commercial storage units. 2 parking places lot. Business operations shall not be conducted out of personal or commercial storage suites unless permitted use of special land use within the applicable zoning district. Does that mean that they can have manufacturing facilities in the storage units as it's currently permitted?
My understanding, if it's manufacturing, if the zone that they're located in allows for manufacturing, they could do that in their self-storage, yes.
So the current storage units that are used for manufacturing and repair work would be illegal under this?
That is my understanding, yes.
So I can hear a whole bunch of complaining. Okay, so give me some clarification on that, if you would, if it definitely would be illegal for these channel side places that are doing manufacturing in their units. Okay. Could you clarify section T, number 3?
I'm sorry, what section was that?
I'm on page
Oh.
5.9,
Okay.
T3. It said no more than 1 accessory dwelling per storage unit. Now, as I'm reading this, we're not gonna allow any apartments in storage units. Is this correct, or am I misreading something?
The accessory dwelling unit would be allowed, which would be a living unit, but you're only allowed to have 1 living unit in the storage unit.
Okay, but there would be no manufacturing or okay. 5.10. Okay, short-term rental, the square footage dedicated to an ADU can exceed the maximum accessory building square footage per section, blah, blah, as long as it does not exceed the maximum livable floor area requirement in this section. I had to go back, I don't recall exactly what my question is. Can you elaborate on that, Craig? That'd be 6.
So accessory building right now can not exceed 40% of the main floor of the principal dwelling, or 40% of the rear yard, whichever is less. This is saying that an accessory dwelling unit cannot exceed 600 square feet or 50% of the livable floor of a single unit dwelling, whichever is less.
Now, we still have lot coverage, including, somewhere I read something about converting a garage to ADU.
That's possible, yes.
Okay, so then if we convert the garage to ADU and we need a storage building, that still counts against lot coverage of 40%?
Yes.
Okay, all right. 10-6. Yeah, to Mr. Cook's thing here. As I read this, if you demolish your one-story house and want to put a two-story house up, it's not allowed unless you have a special zoning request. Am I correct in that?
That's correct.
So why? Explain that to me.
The planning commission, when they discussed it, they indicated they would like to rebuild in the same footprint, the same structure. If city council wishes to change that, now would be the time to put it
Well,
into.
my contention is, I just bought a little teeny house I'm gonna tear it down, and I wanna go two-story. It should be allowed in the ordinance without having to go through all the hoops that go into the zoning board and everything on the existing footprint. Because you're not making the lot coverage or anything more non-conforming, you're just going up a story with, you have to meet all the zoning ordinances as far as height restrictions and such what, correct?
That's correct.
So why can't we just write that in there that that's allowable?
That's up to city's council.
I think that's more than reasonable. Personally. Okay, moving on.
We did talk at planning commission about the fact of making that plain English.
Well, we made it plain English that you rebuild on your existing footprint, but it's confusing whether or not you're allowed to go a second story. Which if you're buying a little dinky house on a non-conforming lot, you wanna tear it down, why would you build the same footprint? You know, you have to build on the same footprint, but you should be allowed to go another story. All right.
The city council wish to amend that or put that?
Yes.
Into yeah, I agree. Okay.
Okay. 10-17, what the heck?
Skipping a lot of pages, Mike, that's good.
Hey, you did good on it. You guys are making progress.
Heavy lifting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we review this, once every 30 years? We gotta get it right, so, I mean, I don't wanna do this again. Why? I got, number 7 on page 17, residential and mixed use. I guess I'm not here. Why is it not permitted? Why is it permitted on the not on Pine Street? In the core commercial, why is it not permitted, but it is permitted on Pine Street in the core commercial district? Mr. Carlson, could you explain that to me?
With the multiple unit dwelling was not permitted on fronting on Pine Street, so it would be more of a mixed use on Pine Street, so people could walk, and we have retail on the main floor, residential on the second floor.
We didn't want to see apartment buildings down there. We'd like
Okay.
to see retail on the story.
Correct, that's what we agreed to, okay. So that's good. 1024. All right, we gotta address, we have non-conforming lots. I know of at least 6 over there on the end of Mary Street that are, already deeded or plotted at 4,000 square foot. That's not addressed in here at all. Why is that? In the R4 overlay.
So if something's existing, it would still be a lot of record. But anything new is gonna have to comply with the zoning ordinance of 6,000 square feet.
Right, at the split, but there's nothing addressed in here that a 4,000 square foot lot is buildable.
Any lot that is not conforming is buildable as long as it meets the setbacks.
As long as it's pre-plotted, any new lot has to be plotted at 6,000 square feet.
Correct.
But the ones now that are 40 by 100, 4,000 are permitted to be built on, providing they meet setbacks.
Correct.
Okay, all right. I guess
Or
that-
the existing footprint.
Or if it's a vacant precinct, they could still build new on it.
Well, we have vacant lots that are 40 foot wide. And as I read this through there, I don't think that, according to this, they would be buildable.
Yeah.
But now you can't split a lot under the allowable split now.
If you split a lot, it cannot be less than 6,000 square feet.
But if they're plotted, they're buildable.
Correct, if they meet setbacks.
Man, that was easy, a lot easier than last time.
Do we have any public comments regarding this?
Nicole Larabelle, 16814 Virginia Avenue. My public comment tonight, I think the biggest change to our zoning ordinance out of everything that's in here is there's 2 commercial districts in Ferrisburg. There's the one that's downtown, and that is core commercial. And then we have a general commercial district, which is everything else in the city. And that district includes like the iMove area by Cove Street, the Leppinks property. There's a vacant property that has some wetlands on 174th and Van Wagner. So our current zoning ordinance doesn't allow apartment buildings on commercial properties, and it doesn't allow townhouses on commercial properties either. So my question is, can we have a discussion on if it's appropriate, if Ferrisburg wants to move forward and see existing businesses get redeveloped into all residential uses where those parcels wouldn't be open to the public anymore? So we talk about walkable community, and the residents that took the master plan survey said they wanted to see more businesses in Ferrisburg. One label that Ferrisburg has was bedroom community, which means lots of housing, nothing to do. I rather enjoy going to the grocery store and not having to drive all the way to Meyer in, Norton Shores, Fruitport area. And I think there's some thought here that maybe it'll never happen. Maybe we won't see a successful grocery store ever leave our community. But when we take zoning and we change the highest and best use of the property, which means what's the most profitable use of the property, if we allow townhouses for the first time, if we allow apartment buildings for the first time on these commercial parcels, you're now changing the highest and best use of the property. If 3-story apartment buildings that have no unit maximum, because that's one of the changes too, would be there's no unit maximum on apartment buildings now. I think a really good compromise to adding housing to these areas would be to add it on the second floor and up. Modern buildings have elevators for people that have mobility challenges. I just think that adding housing to Ferrisburg is a priority, and we can definitely accommodate that because mixed-use building allows first floor commercial uses and then residential above, you know, and those units could be condos, they could be, you know, owned by owners, which would be great. They could be rentals, which we need to, but I don't think the residents want to see the commercial businesses that we have convert to residential only uses where the public wouldn't be able to use them anymore. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think I really need this, but my name is James Sleeper. I live at 19150 North Shore. I'm really confused about this. I haven't read this stuff as much as you guys have, but I am pretty interested in it because of a couple of reasons. But number one, I own a non-conforming lot, so I don't know if I can build an ADU on it or not. Does it have to be attached to my present property or not? Number 2 or 3, however you want to look at it. He says first they say short-term rentals not allowed. Then he says brings up so out-of-state people their own out-of-state can rent their property. So I don't know the difference between short-term and long-term. I don't know the definition in Ferrisburg. It seems to vary from, I know what it is in Spring Lake, and I don't know what it is in Ferrisburg. And then the second thing, if it is disallowed in short-term, I have 2 neighbors directly north of me that both have short-term rental property. Then if I were to build an ADU, I couldn't use it as short-term. To me, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then it was a non-conforming lot to begin with, which had a permit to build on it. So I'm just confused about the whole thing. So maybe somebody can give me some clarifications on the ADU, how it's got to be structured. Does it have to meet all the setbacks? Does it need to be attached to your present property? And then the rental guidelines for it. So, I mean, I just haven't read all this stuff like you guys have, but I do have a lot of questions about it.
Could you give us your contact information before you leave? Can you give it to Craig?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
Craig, could you elaborate a little bit as far as short-term rental aspect of the ADU? My understanding is that entire property can be a short-term rental, but not just the ADU. Am I correct in that?
Right. An ADU cannot be a short-term rental. A short-term rental is anything from 7 to 27 days. Anything over 7 days is considered a long-term rental.
But he is allowed to do a short-term rental if the house and the ADU are combined as one unit, correct?
No, not according to this ordinance. It's been revised that short-term rentals cannot be an ADU. So the planning commission discussed that at length, and the comment was the ADUs are to increase housing supply, not rental units.
What's the difference?
Housing, the short-term rentals is more of a turnover.
Yeah, but when every street on the house has it, I don't know. I mean, if you're saying I move out of a house, I can rent it short-term, but if I build another house next to me, I can't rent it short-term. In Park Township right now, to have a short-term rental, you have to live on the property. They outlawed all short-term rentals with nobody living on the property because you got better control of the short-term rentals. And I can tell you from living on North Shore, there's 2 or 3, 4 houses down from me where there's Party Central. And if there's an owner there, it would be a lot different. So maybe it's something they ought to consider. I know Park went to it, Township. You can't have a short term without being on your property.
Okay.
Something they might want to consider.
Well, let me ask you this, Craig. I'm confused and he's confused. If he's living in the ADU, can he rent his property out as short-term rental, the main house?
The principal dwelling, yes.
Excuse me?
The principal dwelling, yes.
So if you're living in the ADU, you can rent your house out as a short-term rental. You can't rent the ADU out as a short-term rental combined with the house. Am I correct in that?
Correct.
That clarify it a bit? Does to me too, but I didn't write it.
Well, bouncing off of our master plan, Mr. Sleeper, and that was the residents are driven to increase housing, not short-term rentals in town. And it's a fine line in property rights in terms of allowing people to make money off their property. But short-term rentals have been a moving target for the city. They remain to be problematic. And we just don't see increasing short-term rentals as being a benefit to the city compared to increasing housing overall, where you've got long-term rentals of an ADU over 7 days.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I somewhat disagree. Have we had a lot of complaints on short-term rentals in the city? Greg?
Nothing this year so far that I'm aware of.
So there hasn't been a lot of complaints on short-term rentals. I mean,
I'm not aware of any this year, no.
and we have new software. We have new software to regulate that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Short-term rentals. Yeah. I personally don't see a problem with making ADUs short-term rentals. I understand we're trying to increase housing supply, but at the same time, if we create more ADUs as short-term rentals, maybe we would have less short-term rental homes in the city. Maybe less people would buy a home and make that short-term rental rather than buy an ADU or build an ADU for short-term rentals. And not to mention, as Mr. Sleeper had mentioned, the owners are there. If we make an ADU short-term rentals and the owner's living in the primary residence, somebody is there to police that property and to make sure that the residents that are renting are being nice to the neighbors, I guess you could say, and following the rules. So, yeah, I disagree with not allowing short-term rentals and ADUs personally.
Kim Goldman, 16527 Lakeview Street. I am actually one of the people in your packets there, my lot is, and you made me a real happy camper just a little bit ago, all of you did. My husband and I have lived on Lakeview for 20 years, 26 years to be honest with you. We have watched numerous changes on that street. Probably 7/8 of the homes have been torn down, rebuilt. They got bigger, they got better, they got taller. And I'm gonna hand out a little brochure to you. And we do have our house up for sale. And this is a real shot, my lot. Camper, but just have to get it off my chest. So I am the squatty one right in the middle, okay? Just to let you know. And this has caused us a lot of hardship with all what's going on here. At our age, mentally, physically, and financially, my husband and I have decided to move on. I love this area, and I hope to stay in Ferrysburg, to be very honest with you. But I do hope that a new owner will be able to build a beautiful home that conforms to the neighboring lots. That is my dream. As you look at that aerial shot, the house on the far right, okay, was an A-frame. It was an 800 square foot A-frame. Now it's 5 times the size was before. The house on the far left, okay, was a 1,400 foot square ranch. Okay, it's 2.5 times bigger than it was. All the other homes around me look just like my home probably 40 years ago, okay? My house is probably 80 years old, okay? Whoever wants to buy it, I know they're gonna wanna go up. I mean, they have to. So anyhow, out of the fairness and non-discrimination, we feel that we should be able to build consistently with the neighboring homes. I always felt it's like having 2 children, that you give one of them a whole loaf of bread and you give the other one just a slice. It's not fair. It's not fair that everybody else on the street got to do that, you know, and why are we telling it that we can't? So thank you. I appreciate what we talked about tonight and what you did. It made a lot of sense to all of us. You know, the ordinance, I always said, should allow reconstructed homes to match the height of the neighboring homes. Oh, am I beeped?
Go ahead.
Okay. We thought that it should match the neighboring homes with appropriate incompatibility with the surrounding area. In many of the parts of the district, the neighboring homes already established the prevailing visual character and the scale of the neighborhood. Restricting reconstructed homes to a lower height than adjacent existing homes may create inconsistency within the streetscape and unnecessarily limit reasonable property improvements. Allowing reconstruction to reach a height comparable to neighboring homes would promote architectural consistency within the neighborhood. It would provide fairness to property owners rebuilding older homes. It would allow modern building practices such as flood protection measures and updating living standards to be incorporated more effectively. Support property values while still maintaining compatibility with the surrounding residential character. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you listening to us. Thank you. You can keep that and give it to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ann Smith, 17520 William Street. So I am also in your packet with our other house that we own at 16576 Malta Court. The Malta Court house is on a 4,000 square foot lot. And if you look at the packet and the drawing that was done, you will notice that the accessory building, which is our garage, is totally left out of the ability to rebuild on the existing footprint. I was told, well, you have more than enough space that you could do this. But the problem becomes on a 4,000 square foot lot with a 40% lot coverage, to build the same size house I have now and the same size 1.5 car garage that I have right now, I can't do it and stay in 40%. There's absolutely no way to do it. And I spoke with the GIS folks. They ran a map for me. I asked them to run a map that showed me the number of houses in the Inland Lakes District that are 6,000 or less. And I can forward this by email, but I didn't have enough ink to print all of these for you, sorry. But Mr. Dorosic wrote me back and told me there was a problem with my map. He told me that we included all the accessory lots along the lakeshore. We did not. Those are all south of Lakeview. None of those are on this map. There are a few mistakes, and I have crossed them off, like the lots in Cecilia that have like an adjoining lot over Cecilia Lane for their garage and that type of stuff. So we took those out of consideration. And then there was a mistake on the Goldmans have their house, and then their son has the house next door. And they are over these small little lots. I think there's 5 lots total, and they're over that. So I took those out of consideration. So when I got done, I recounted everything. There are 42 lots within this area that are 6,000 square feet or less, and there are 13 lots that are vacant, that are less than 6,000. So then I went ahead and I printed out, I can't get this to print very easily, but I'm gonna walk and show you guys this. The yellow is all of the lots that are 6,000 or under.
Well, I'll just pass it down.
Yep. All the pink are all those same lots, but it has the building lots outlined on them. If you will notice, the majority of the lots have accessory buildings that are on or close to property lines, and when they are saying that we cannot rebuild the accessory, you are taking away a lot of property that people currently own and are utilizing space on. So if it's already there, Why does it hurt to be able to rebuild what is currently in an existing footprint, including the accessory buildings? The other issue I have, my house was built in the 1940s. I have 7-foot ceilings. I cannot, under Michigan Building Code, rebuild to the same height because then I could only build 1 story. Because code doesn't allow me to build to only 7-foot ceilings these days. So those are things that need to be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Craig, we addressed both those issues, didn't we?
Thank you, Ann.
The building height on the same footprint, you can go 2 stories.
Yeah, city council tonight recommended that be allowed, yes.
And we could rebuild an accessory building on the same footprint, as long as it didn't increase lot coverage or non-conformance.
That was not discussed tonight, I don't believe.
That was one of my comments.
I think Mr. Cook put that in there. And I think we should add that to the list of things that need to be changed in the ordinance. That it,
City council direction.
Disregard the setbacks for replace an accessory.
Allow the rebuilding of accessory dwelling units which are currently excluded.
right, on the existing footprint. So you're not increasing any lot, coverage or any lot, non-conformance.
We could allow them to move it, just as long as the lot coverage doesn't change.
From the existing.
Sure. I want my garage over here now, it's the same size, so can I just rebuild a new one in that corner versus the other one?
Can you add that to that, Craig? Is that consensus of the council? Okay.
Yep.
So just to acknowledge what Mr. Cook is saying, so for example, our current garage accessory building sets 1 foot 10 feet off of the property line. But I do have room that if it were to be rebuilt, that I could move it forward so I have the 3 foot setback. Our neighbor on the other side, his is right on the property line. So the two, and if you look at the house on Malta and the one that's right in front of it, you will see that those two buildings are almost touching each other, and it is a fire hazard. I agree with that. But if there is room, then move it forward, but I'm not changing the footprint of the amount of footage of lot coverage, I'm just moving where it's at.
Take a pair of scissors and an aerial photo, cut a square of your garage out, and just move it where you want it, is what I said, yes.
Exactly,
Yep.
thank you.
And did that address your concerns as far as rebuilding your house?
Yes, so I think the ordinance right now says you have to stick to the existing height, but the problem is you may not be able to stick to the existing height. And for those like in Nicole's case, if she wants to rebuild to just ranch level, but she's got a 2-story, she should be able to do that. And if we want to be able to rebuild, which is currently a 2-story, but by today's standard, it would probably be considered maybe a 1.5 stories because there's 7-foot ceilings. We should be allowed to be able to build a new 2-story under Michigan building codes.
Yeah, as long as you don't exceed the current height, which is 35 feet.
Correct.
Right.
And all the neighbors around me have already done it. So I'm the little one on the block, just like the Goldmans.
Are you clear about what council would like to see there, Craig?
Yes, we can incorporate those in.
Okay. You pleased?
I'm happy as a.
Okay.
To reframe the discussion on the commercial, the problem in my mind as posed tonight during public comment was that the current ordinance would allow a completely residential structure on a commercial lot. And I believe the request, correct me if I'm wrong, was to restrict the first floor to commercial only, but allow subsequent floors above the first to be residential. I would be in support of that. I think the comment that was made tonight makes sense, We don't want, how do I want to phrase this? There are enough condos in the city already. I think having commercial space and having something that incentivizes businesses to come here would be more in line with what our survey respondents wanted.
So your contention is we want to put that in all commercial as opposed to just the Pine Street corridor? Is that what you're advocating?
What if we did this, maybe it's more fair, is we write in the ordinance that we expect the first floor to be commercial, but we would allow an entirely residential structure as a special permitted land use that has to go through planning commission and then be approved by council.
That's acceptable to me. Yeah, I hate the idea of us restricting commercial property for apartment buildings or townhouses to the point where we're limited on our commercial property anyway.
Okay.
Good thoughts. Thank you. Anyone else have anything to add before we move on? Okay. Which agenda I have to work off of here. 7F, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve the mayor's appointment of city council members to the ad hoc city managers evaluation committee. I had City Hall give me the dates as to who's served, and the people that are on the bubble right now are Debbie Murdoch and Mr. Bill Kate. So I would like to nominate.
I knew that.
We've done it twice.
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done it twice.
3 years ago.
I've only done it
I
once.
did it with Will.
Yeah, I've only done it once. So I knew I was hot for that.
So the mayor nominates council member Murdoch and council member.
Is that acceptable to you,
No.
Debbie?
No, it's not.
So,
I've already done it twice.
Well, sorry.
so we eliminate Debbie, so make a second choice.
Mr. DeWitt or Mr. Sias?
I'll volunteer.
Okay, thank you. Did you get that, Amber? Okay, so
Sure.
Mr. DeWitt and Mr. Sias, I need a motion to support them.
Kate.
Who's doing it?
Councilman Kate.
I
Kate
thought I
and
was.
Sias.
Okay.
Kate and Sias.
All right. Unless DeWitt wants it, I don't care.
I don't care, I don't want it.
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor's appointment of council member Sias and council member DeWitt.
Wonderful. Any discussion or complaints?
Let me amend the motion. Council member Kate and council member Sias.
There you go.
Okay, very good.
Boy, we're getting.
How many have been nominated here? I think we got the whole council on the committee.
Sure.
Debbie supported it.
All right.
All right,
Okay, Amber,
so it's Kate and Sias, correct?
that's correct.
All right.
Okay, Councilmember Sias,
Yay.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Cook,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes,
motion passed.
very good.
Could I ask, when is this due, Craig?
So typically, the ad hoc committee will get all the evaluations, put everything together, then contact me when you're ready for it to go on the
Okay.
agenda.
The sooner the better. That's my,
So you gotta.
we'll
get
talk,
it-
Jerry.
Okay,
you
yeah.
gotta get it to people.
I know.
I'll have mine tomorrow.
Me too, Mike.
Yep. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Amber, could you tell us what the next agenda item is?
The next agenda item is 7G, approve the mayor's appointment of Jordan Weber to the Planning Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2029.
So we're gonna do these individually then.
But
Make a motion
So-
to approve.
Very good. Do we have support? Okay. Motion and support.
Good.
Go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Opposed, the same.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
Moving on to 7H, approve the mayor's appointment of Sandy Tuggle to the Planning Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Amber?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7I, approve the mayor's appointment of Jordan Weber to the Recreation Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2029.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion passed.
Moving on to 7J, approve the mayor's appointment of Tim Olson to the regular member of the Kitchell Lindquist Hartford Dunes Preserve Board for a term ending July 1st, 2029.
I'll make a motion to approve Tim Olson to the KLH board.
Or
Question. Is he currently a member?
No.
Was he appointed for like 3 months or something for the serving?
He applied for the last opening that we filled with Trier, and then we have another opening here in 15 days. So we just kept his application and felt it was appropriate to appoint him.
Okay, thank you.
Michael Trier is done,
Um,
not serving anymore.
no, his name is Stephen Trier. He was newly appointed. One of the women, I forget her name, she is done on June 30th.
Did she apply for reappointment?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. So we have motion and support on the floor. Any more discussion? Hearing none. Amber?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed.
Moving on to 7K, approve the mayor's appointment of Tim Scarapino to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Appeals for a term ending January 1st, 2029.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Discussion? Hearing none.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed.
Good. Moving on to 7L, approve the mayor's appointment of Rebecca Hop to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Appeals for a term ending January 1st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Support?
Support.
Very good. Motion and support on the floor. Any discussion?
Yes. I have concerns whether the appointed individual will be able to support effective and collegial function. I cannot support the appointment at this time.
Excuse me, I didn't catch what your objection was.
I have concerns about the appointed individual, whether they will be able to support effective and collegial function. I cannot support the appointment at this time.
So is your contention she's unqualified?
No. My concern is collegial function.
You lost me on that. What's collegial function?
Getting along with other elected officials and other people is what collegial function means.
Anyone else have any other comments?
I don't know if I want to get into this, but, oh, man. Dave, so what you're saying is she may object to the personnel on the board right now, and is that your concern? That
I don't want to say anything about the applicant specifically. I will say there has been a pattern of several emails to City Council, questions about why certain things haven't happened as quickly. There have been responses from myself and other council people trying to provide some explanation, trying to get things on an agenda. This isn't germane to this appointment, but it is germane to another item on here. That same applicant applied for the ZBA. There were questions about when and why they weren't on the agenda. I asked City Council and staff to place that agenda item on the ZBA meeting this Thursday, and the application was withdrawn 3 hours before the meeting. There have been other emails, I'm not going to elaborate, but I just have a concern about the collegial function.
So you're trying to disqualify her because she has questions? And emails city council with questions or?
Yeah, that's my concern here, Dave, is trying to disqualify somebody because they may not agree with you, or they may question your motives, and that's what we need more of in these committees, in my opinion. Somebody who is gonna question motives, and somebody who's gonna make sure things are done properly. And you know, I've seen Rebecca voted off the rec commission because she brought concern to something that came to fruition, and it was a problem created that the city had to spend a lot of money to reconcile. And Rebecca Hopp is more qualified than probably most people on that board, and I just don't see a reason to disqualify her because she has concerns, personally.
I don't have a problem with the concerns being raised. I think there's a question, at least my perception, is the tone in which those are communicated. That's all I'm going to say.
Understood. Any other comments?
Your Honor,
Yes.
just to clarify, Rebecca is on the Ottawa County Board. Gives us a input into the county. Did I just throw that out there?
Another comment I'll make is we've had a brownfield redevelopment authority for a long time, and we've only had one project. So one of the things I raised, it was probably in November, was perhaps having a conversation about whether the city really needs its own and whether or not that function could be transferred to the county, especially considering if we pass this zoning amendment, we may be looking at much larger projects that would be better suited to a larger group of people inside and outside of Ferrisburgh, and better suited to the resources the county has. They have an entire department that supports their BRA. So that's my comment about that.
Understood. Any other comments?
Honor?
Yes.
Craig, is it, we are mandated by the state to have a brownfield, once we pass the brownfield ordinance, correct?
So there's a brownfield authority, the city council would have to just, what do they say, not get rid of it, but.
My question to you, is it legal for us to dissolve it and go with the county?
So that's a legal question that we'll have to ask the city attorney.
Right, I believe we have to have it once we pass the ordinance to have it. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know.
Yeah, the city attorney needs to determine whether it can be dissolved or not.
Can you look into that and email us?
Yes, I will.
Before our next meeting?
Yep.
Okay, great. Any other comments before we vote on this? Hearing none. Amber? Call.
Would you like roll call or just say, okay.
Well, no. Voice is fine. Voice is fine.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same?
No.
Better do a roll call.
You okay with roll call? Okay. Councilmember Murdoch?
No.
Councilmember Kate?
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Cook?
No.
Councilmember Sias?
Yes.
Mayor Carlson?
No.
Tie? Motion failed.
Thank you. Moving
Can I
on.
say something, Your Honor? This is exactly why we can't get people to join commissions. This is exactly why nobody wants to join the 4th of July Events Commission. I've asked several people, and each one of them said, no, I won't put myself on that chopping block. So what we just did here tonight is a travesty. And I'll have you all know that right now. Just because somebody opposes you is not the reason to deny them a point on commission.
Moving on to 7M, approve the mayor's appointment of Tim O'Donnell to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Appeals for a term ending January 1st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Support. Motion and support. Any comments?
I have the same concerns about the appointed individual and their collegial function.
Of course you do. Can we have a vote?
Any more comments? Amber?
Would you like roll call?
Please.
Sure.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Cook.
No.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7N, approve the appointment. Do we have a position to fill for 7N, Ken? Okay.
So at the zoning board of appeals meeting last week, one member was withdrew her application, and another member, the recommendation to recommend to the city council the appointment was a 2-2 vote, so the motion failed. So we do not have a recommendation from the zoning board of appeals.
Very good.
There was no regular member. That application was withdrawn. I believe the motion that failed was pertaining to item O,
Correct.
the alternate.
So N and O are empty. Moving on to 7P, approve the appointment of Terry Grodemont to the Coast Guard Festival Committee for a term ending July 1st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Amber?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7Q, approve the appointment of Tim O'Donnell to the Board of Review for a term ending January 1st, 2029.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Amber, go ahead.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
No.
Motion passed.
Okay. Moving on to 7R work session. Senior citizen water and sewer rate discount. Staff, you want to fill us in on this, please?
And when the city budget was adopted and water rates and sewer rates were approved, there was some discussion on having a discount rate for senior citizens. The city attorney reviewed that, and his opinion is included in the packet. He has concerns that it could face a legal challenge to have a senior citizen discount.
So basically, we are setting ourselves up for legal problems if we approve it.
Correct.
The memo said that we could rename it and just base it on income and not on age.
Yeah, they could hurt us in the regard that we just raise rates to build a fund and know what percentage of Ferrisburg would be getting a discount because they're low income.
I think it's small. I think that the risk of doing this is low. I think that we already have people who are on our aged accounts receivable who can't pay. And so they make a small payment every month to keep the city from shutting off their water. So I think that we should do something. I would like to maybe see some type of analysis that shows what we think the bottom line is, how many people will know about this program, how many would qualify, and then what would the discount be? What can we provide that would be substantive to, somebody struggling on Social Security, perhaps a single mother, people who lose their jobs. Water's a basic fundamental thing for sanitation and cooking. I don't want to propose anything specific because I don't know what those numbers look like, but I would be in favor of having something, again, because I believe if it were income-based, it would be low risk to our revenue. And we already have people who are struggling to pay.
That's something staff could look at?
Yes.
Greg, we have
Help from the county potentially?
Yes.
Craig, we have forget what program it was, a tax break for low income.
City council every year approves a poverty exemption for,
Okay, how many people we actually have signed on that?
None at this time.
So if they can't afford their water bill, they're damn sure gonna come and wanna reduce their tax bill.
Well, we're going to be building affordable housing, and if we pass this zoning package, people will be able to build I believe, 440 square foot home that will be, I don't think anyone would build that unless they were low income, and that were their only option. So I would frame it as something that we could grow into the future as we attract people with different types of income to our lovely city.
Well, I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have 440 square foot houses that a bunch of landlords are gonna be renting out. My personal opinion, but in the interest of increasing the housing supply, I'm willing to accept that.
So the county potentially could help with an evaluation,
I can ask them,
come up with something.
Right.
We can revisit this after you get us some data.
yes.
Okay. David, are you gonna be happy with that? We'll
Yeah,
get
that's
some
fine.
data.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anybody else have anything regarding the senior water rates? Move on. 7E, work sessions, heating. Oh, did I?
7S.
I'm sorry, city council goals, 7S, city council goals. Staff, you wanna run us through this?
So earlier this year, city council approved some goals for city council for 2026 regarding fiscal responsibility, infrastructure, economic development, parks and recreation, and community confidence and safety. Just a quick update, city council approved the budget. We continue to monitor streams of revenue and expenditures. City council has looked at putting the Headley rollback amendment on a future ballot. Analysis was done in city council. At that time, decided to focus on renewing the street millage. And that will be on the November ballot. Regarding infrastructure and economic development, there was some discussion on allowing, having planning commission look at allowing additional signs, larger signs, and renewable energy. The planning commission has had their hands full working on the housing amendments. Hopefully we'll get to this later this fall on some of those items for economic development. Street repairs, Public Works Department has put together a nice list. That was priorities, which ones are being done first. What we got to work on now is making sure we have enough funding to get the needed repairs done. First impression tourism assessment has begun. We shall have a kickoff meeting to see the results later in September. Parks and Recreation, the bollards along the paved path at Coast Guard Park has begun. Charter amendments will be on the November ballot. We got both digital signs operational. City Council tonight approved updating the website. Boards and commissions, where some of these boards and commissions we're having a hard time keeping a full roster. We're continuing to advertise for open positions. Anything that City Council could do to recommend somebody, we'd appreciate that.
And in the past, we have done this work session and then set this in the agenda, what, in 2 weeks or 4 weeks away or something like that?
Typically, we'll just keep working on the goals for the remainder of 2026, have an update at the end of the year, and start working on 2027 goals.
Anyone have any questions or comments regarding this?
We did a good job of hitting the high points this past year.
Been knocking them off. I've been pleased, that's for sure.
I'll make a comment.
Yeah.
If you watched the last meeting, you will notice that there was probably some friction when we talked about the budget. I think that we could do better in terms of simplifying the budget, and that that may help alleviate perhaps some misunderstanding about what we're passing and what the future health of the city looks like.
I'm still a big fan of having a graphical representation of fund balances and how we're doing against budget and that type of thing, so that we can get a snapshot picture of what's going on for water and sewer and streets and everything else. Thank you for your work on that. Looks good. Anyone else have anything regarding city goals right
If
now?
you haven't been to Coast Guard Park lately, take a walk on that path. I can't wait till it gets dark. I want to see those lights.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice.
Good.
It'll be nice.
Moving on to 7T, work session, speeding, North Shore Drive and 168th Avenue. Craig, you've been getting some chatter in City Hall regarding this?
Yes, you know, we're getting some comments from people who live on 168th Avenue that the speed has increased. We kind of anticipated that when the street was going to be repaved, that the smooth surface was going to tempt people to go a little bit faster than they should. We're getting comments from North Shore Road, from West Spring Lake Road. It's not just one road, and everybody seems to be speeding lately. And the police department is working to patrol this as much as they can, but they can't be at each street 24/7. So I think it's a sign of the times that people tend to go a little faster than what is allowed. I'm not sure what City Council wants to do. We got speed bumps on North Shore Drive. We have flashing speed limit signs on North Shore Drive. The flashing speed limit signs on North Shore Drive were installed as soon as we put the street in. It did not help. We were sitting in comments, so the City Council at that time agreed putting the speed bumps in. Now we get complaints about the speed bumps and people going around the speed bumps. I'm not sure what the good answer is to try to control speeding in the city.
Your Honor, couple suggestions. With low cost in mind here, we could put a crosswalk on Virginia with a sign and a crosswalk on Cottage Shores with a sign, you know, yield to crosswalk. That's gonna help slow people down, I would think, except at night, you know, but anyway. The other thing, I was in Grand Haven recently, and they had the same problem with people cutting a corner, and they put a stop sign in the intersection. We have a manhole cover there at the intersection where we could put a bucket with a stop sign, you know, those little triangle cement ones, so people couldn't cut that corner. They would have to go around the sign. A citizen suggested that. I said I would present it. I don't know if that's a proper option or not. Yeah, on 168th and West Spring Lake Road by the bridge there.
Oh.
Because we come in at a goofy angle, people are cutting that corner, you know, and you know, stupid people doing stupid things. You can't stop it. And unless we had a cop on every street every time, 24/7, I don't see how you're gonna stop it. But crosswalk, at least one on that street might slow people down.
Greg, is that something that City Hall can look at, crosswalks and that sign in the middle of the intersection?
So typically a crosswalk is from sidewalk to sidewalk or path to path. There's nothing on Virginia Avenue except the street going to the bike path on.
Could there be?
We can look into that.
We don't necessarily have to have a sidewalk to put a crosswalk in, just at the end of the street or just off the side. The other thing is Cottage Shore is going to have a sidewalk or part of a sidewalk there. Mr. Brockmeyer suggested that when we approved his plan years PUD months ago. There's just a couple things that citizens brought up to me that I've thrown out there.
I think those are great ideas. The stop sign would also help people who are turning left at that intersection. So when they come down 168th and they stop at West Spring Lake Road, it's almost impossible to turn left without being in the intersection to see if anyone's coming.
Right, several people have brought up that coming from the south or across the bridge, they cut that corner.
Yeah.
And several people have been almost hit head on there. You know, that's a thought. I forget where it was in Grand Haven. They had the same issue, and they did a little triangle cement thing with a stop sign. You know, on one side we could have stop sign on 168th, and on the other side an arrow, you know, around line. And if it's portable, when it comes time to snow, the city crew can remove it and make snow plowing easier. You know, just throwing it out there.
You all set, Mike?
I'm done.
Okay, Nicole?
Thank you, Mayor Carlson. My husband's written several emails about this. Our patio's on 168th. We sit out there a lot and we hear and see the speeding. The solution that I think would be best is probably not popular with everybody, but would definitely be popular with people who live in the neighborhood, and that would be to lower it from 35 to 30. When you look at Grand Haven, the whole city is 25, and the whole city's a residential area, and I think the only way to tell somebody, hey, you have to not do 50 here, is to say, you're doing 20 over when you're doing 50 here. And 50, honestly, that isn't even the problem. It's 70 and it's 80, you know, that we see there. And I hear it at night too from my bedroom, you know, people, especially motorcycles, going really, really fast. The bumps on 168th are gone, and those used to slow people down. But I also think that this could be done on Pine Street, where somebody's beloved pet got hit, and the kids had to see that, and it was terrible, and it's not the first animal that's passed away there, and it really is a residential area. And you know, I travel that street all the time, and I travel the corner all the time, and it's not gonna hurt me to have to slow down an extra 5 miles an hour, you know, to be at 30. And there's so many people walking. A crosswalk would be great. I've talked to Brockmeyer about having one at Cottage Shores. He's totally supportive of that, and at Virginia. And then the other thing that I think would be a creative solution is there's already a lot of golf carts that travel down 168th, and other municipalities actually allow that to be done. Like Ludington's one of those communities that allows golf carts. But if people were used to seeing smaller vehicles on the road and the speed limit was lower, I think it would really hammer down, like, this isn't a place to do 80 anymore. But yeah, crosswalk would be great. And I know the problem was that there's not a sidewalk to connect to, but you know, if that rule can be, you know, if there is a way to put a crosswalk there, it definitely would be helpful. But you know, it's definitely going to be one where we have to teach people, you have to see both cars stop before you cross there, because if it just has a yield to pedestrian signs and people think they can go across there, they're going to get hit. And you know, there's so many children in the neighborhood that I see cross by themselves, and you know, I always worry about that, but they're all smart kids and they all figure it out. But you know, I've seen animals cross there too, and they can't tell when the car's doing 80. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ann Smith, 17520 William Street. Okay, this is speeding, but it's not on 168th. This is on the bike path. The amount of electric bikes that my husband and I and our dog have almost been hit by, because they are actually going faster on the bike path than they are on the road. Something needs to stop before somebody is killed or seriously injured. I think there should be signs that there are no electric bikes to be allowed on those bike paths. They do not, they just fly through all the stop signs. They don't follow any of the stop signs. It's dangerous. So that's something that I think the bike path goes all the way around the municipalities around the lake. Maybe it needs to be something that needs to be discussed outside of just Ferrisburg, but something has to happen because people are going to be hurt because these people just fly down the paths.
When
Thank
we
you.
passed that, Ann, I was against it, but
I
I
know
got,
you
I
were.
got argued out of it. Everybody else was thinking it was gonna be great. Well, it's not great
It's
at
not.
all.
It's not.
It's dangerous.
Can we bring it back on the agenda?
Yes.
I would be in support of that.
Thank you, Ann.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Craig, didn't we address that at one point
Oh, yeah.
on the bike paths?
Yes,
And we-
bike-
we
there were certain
banned-
conditions for bike, an e-bike to be on a pedestrian path.
And we banned them on the bike paths, didn't we?
No.
Just in the park.
So just through Coast Guard Park? Okay. Yeah, I knew
Your
it
Honor,
was-
I would be all in favor of lowering the speed limits all over our city. But speaking as one who made his living enforcing traffic laws for 20 years, no matter what you do, stupidity will reign, and people will do what they want to do no matter what. We could have cops on every street 24/7, running radars, and as long as one is out of his car, running a radar, writing a ticket, while he's writing that ticket, others are speeding past him. There is no foolproof solution to the problem of speeding because people are going to do it. The only thing we can do as citizens, and this may sound really petty, write down license numbers and call in traffic complaints. It can be done. You call the non-emergency number of the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department, report it, and they will investigate.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Sometimes I wish I had a ball bat. I'd like to knock some people over on those rec paths.
Go ahead.
Coming down 540 Ferry Street. Councilmember Cates, I agree with you. I've worked in law enforcement, and even today on emergency scenes with the fire department, I've had a few close calls with cars while trying to render aid to somebody. But one of the problems I see is our police department being used in other ways it was not originally intended. They're being utilized in Spring Lake Township. Used to be every call that I went on, there was a sheriff's deputy there. That's not the case anymore because they're tied up in Marne or Nunica or some other place in Spring Lake on some call. And it is very, very common that they're being called out to other areas, and we're paying for police coverage in Spring Lake Township. And if we're going to be covering that, then they need to either pay us or let us bring the police back into the city where it was originally intended, let them be in their original intended use. The bikes, I was there when that ordinance was passed. It's not being enforced. That was one of the concerns. And I think that should be eliminated because there's no way to enforce it. On the bridge, if you put perhaps put a median in there, a small little 1 foot wide median to force the person to actually go up into the intersection and then turn, that would force them to slow down. I drive almost 200 miles a day and I see all kinds of devices out there, and that would be something that could be done relatively cheap and hopefully take care of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes.
To Tim's point, since we added Spring Lake Township to the police coverage, I don't see the police going by my house. I live on a main drag. I see them, used to see them go by 5, 6, 7 times. I hardly ever see them. On the weekend, we got one particular officer that goes back on Cove and back up that way, and typically after he delivers my packet, they go up, around behind. But I just don't see the officers like we did prior to taking Spring Lake Township on as combined service or whatever.
Craig, I thought that we were supposed to have a car that was available all the time here. Are they getting pulled out into the townships?
I'll review that with
Can you
Lieutenant.
do that?
Yep.
It's been a while since we've had a police commission meeting.
We haven't had a commission meeting in forever.
We can probably set one up, that'd probably be best.
Problem is, the wording, we used to have a officer in Perrysburg and one in Spring Lake Village. Now, the wording got changed on the contract and it says we will have an officer available. That doesn't mean he's in Perrysburg. So the wording of the contract changed because I'm around town, you know, daily.
Yeah.
7, 8 times a day. I'm
You're
driving
right,
around.
Mike,
And
because I
never
would see him sitting on
never
West
see him.
Spring Lake Road, like,
Look into that and send us
Yes.
sooner rather than later.
I think
Yep.
we ought to bring it up at the police commission.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel we're getting our money's worth on that personally. I could be wrong, but, I just don't see them like I used to.
So, potentially we could look also at lowering the speed on 160.
I'll look into
Is
that
that
too.
doable, if it's possible?
Yep.
I wouldn't be opposed to having it be 25 miles an hour.
To Bill's point, you can make it 10 miles an hour, still gonna speed.
I understand, but when somebody gets a
It ain't gonna
ticket,
stop it.
that's
Make it hurt more with the ticket.
a lot bigger ticket.
Yeah.
When they're going 35, then they're 10 over. Anybody else have anything regarding speed?
I'd like to see a work session on the motorized vehicles on the bike path again. I've heard a lot of complaints, a lot.
You got that, City Hall?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Time for public comments. Anyone else have public comment? Mr. O'Donnell.
Tim O'Donnell, 540 Ferry Street, would pertain to Councilmember Kate's statement about calling PD for traffic complaints. Doesn't work. In Ottawa County, they don't care if, I watched a guy driving drunk, driving up on sidewalks, driving through stoplights, called it in, reported it, and the deputy stopped him. The case got thrown out of court because the deputy did not see all those violations. The deputy has to see the violation in order to write the ticket. And that's unfortunate in this area. I am a former police officer, so, and this was this guy's 5th drunk driving arrest. And he was let go because the officer did not see all those violations. Also, the other thing is, I'd just like to thank you for the appointment to the boards. Thank you.
You bet. Any other public comment, ladies? No? Okay, very good. Reports. City manager.
No report?
Very good. City council members. Mr.
One
Cook?
quick one, the Jim Dreyer Combat Veterans Memorial, we made the presentation to the Rec Commission. They were less than enthusiastic. As a result, it is being located in Whitehall. So,
Made me sad.
end of report.
Okay. Mr. Kate or Mr. DeWitt?
Yeah, some of the comments tonight, as far as the appointments, that's exactly why we don't have people applying. To Mr. Sias's point, people I asked to apply for different boards and stuff says, I don't want to get in that shit show. That's exactly what they tell me. End of that discussion.
Very good. Mr. Cook?
No report.
Okay. Mr. Sias?
No report.
Okay. Debbie?
The picnic is moving forward. We are, on my commission is 5 women that all have medical issues at this moment, and so, but we're gonna do it, but we are doing it with many volunteers, otherwise it wouldn't happen, because all 5 of us have problems right now. But we're moving forward, we're gonna do it.
After the meeting, we'll have a little chat, and see if I can help you.
Yeah, after the parade, do we, can we all stage somewhere down there to help?
Well, we have the Gateway Church, and they are fabulous, and those people, and we have Eagles, and we have Boy Scouts, and so if it wasn't for all the people volunteering, it wouldn't be happening this year. There's so many of us that have problems right now.
Certainly.
But we're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. We're looking for the good weather. And a report.
Very good. Mayor's report, I appreciate everyone stepping forward to volunteer to help serve for the mayor's breakfast on July 4th. That's always a great thing for the citizens, and I appreciate all volunteering. We had the Heart Smart kickoff a week ago Thursday over at the Spring Lake Community Center. That's where the cities of Ferrysburg and Grand Haven and the village of Spring Lake are getting together and promoting Heart Smart, which is to teach people basics. Okay, in case someone drops down in front of you dead, they can be able to keep the blood flowing. Brain. So the goal, of course, is to get a certain percentage of the community trained. We had a great kickoff meeting, and there's going to be a lot of publicity and training here at City Hall and elsewhere. Excited about that. Need to know, City Council, July 6th is the Monday after the 4th, and that would be our regularly scheduled meeting. You comfortable pushing that off?
Yes, except that, what do we have for the city council, review for, replacement for?
Haven't.
What
July
was it?
20th would be the first look at them.
Would be the first review?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got no problem with it.
What about the zoning ordinance? When will we vote on that?
At the next meeting, either July 6th or July 20th.
I would like to vote on the zoning changes sooner rather than later. As we heard from one public commenter tonight, they're trying to sell their property, and right now they have no assurances. We also tabled 2 or 3 zoning board of appeals because we thought that they would be more tenable if the new ordinance was in place. So all those folks would have to wait longer if we tabled our meeting.
Under that consideration, I would, agree with Mr. Cook, we should
Have a meeting? Okay.
Craig, is the planning commission gonna get back to us with this, prior to the 6th?
No, is there something the city council directed staff to put into the ordinance, so we'll make those changes and bring it back?
So it doesn't have to go back to planning commission, we can rule on it right here?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I would, I agree with Mr. Cook, we got people, hanging on our, performance here.
We'll work on a skinny agenda, Craig.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep it to one thing on the agenda.
End of report.
Motion adjourned. Why do you always look at me at the end?
Final motion.